Peacemaker, James Gunn. Let's just get this review started.
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
How do you do, G-Pod crew? It's your Nutty Buddy Play here, and I just got done watching Peacemaker, and oh my god. I'm going to just say this in my review, alright? I want to get to the breakdown of each episode, so I will go based on each episode 1 to 3, talking about the full breakdown. So I'm going to go ahead and say spoiler, but before I even say spoiler, this is amazing. I wish James Gunn would take over Deadpool, because I feel like he would understand Deadpool and make something fabulous out of Deadpool. But with that being said, Peacemaker is definitely a watch from beginning to start. The beginning. Oh my god, the beginning. I can't even explain the beginning. You need to watch this. You need to watch Peacemaker. HBO Max, I feel like you got a hit on your hands. But I want to get to the full breakdown, so honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Spoiler alert right now. Right now. Let's get into the breakdown. The spoiler-free review is that quick, guys. Peacemaker is awesome. Let's get into it. Just as a warning, right now, I am about to show my reaction to the intro. This is a major spoiler alert. The intro alone made me go crazy that I had to shorten my spoiler-free review just because I wanted to get into it. So, the first episode, which is called A Whole New Whirled with the word world, which is explained in this episode. But my reaction to the intro alone maybe had to change my spoiler-free beginning review and throw this in there so you guys can see my reaction. I'm going to try to cut it so I don't get no copyright. But oh my god. Oh my god. Just watch. What am I watching? James Gunn, you're epic. Yo, what? Now, for those unaware, this ain't really an Easter egg. I mean, I guess it could be. Maybe it's an ongoing thing that might happen in this series. We have a lot to know because I record my Easter eggs and breakdowns during me watching the episode so I can get it out pretty quickly. With that being said, the cab driver got Peacemaker's helmet. I hope this is a running gag that they set up starting with The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, because both John Cena, aka Peacemaker, and Jimmy Fallon played some games, and, well, let's just say this, John Cena decided to put his helmet up as a prize, and if he lost, then Jimmy Fallon would have to paint the tips of his hair. It's a certain term you call for highlighting, putting highlights or something like that. Anyway, needless to say, John Cena lost, and Jimmy Fallon got to wear the helmet during his interview, and I guess now owns it. So, this might be an ongoing thing with this series, with him losing his helmet to somebody, and either some gambling or money, or I don't know, but I hope so, because this is the first hint with the taxi driver getting his helmet. I kind of want a Peacemaker helmet now. Now, as Peacemaker is going into his apartment, you notice that he gets a phone call from a character by the name of Vigilante. Vigilante is actually a character by the name of Adrian Chase, though he does have different people that actually play the part of Vigilante. He's just basically just like Peacemaker. He's just a marksman, fighter, that situation. But what makes it great is he's a very obscure character that I love because, not personally, just in general, that I love because of James Gunn taking obscure characters like in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Suicide Squad, and putting them into his movies and making them pretty much well-known characters. A lot of people would not know who Star-Lord is if it wasn't for James Gunn, and the same thing with Peacemaker. No one would know who he is if it wasn't for James Gunn. And now we get a first taste of Vigilante. And again, Vigilante is just a marksman fighter type situation that apparently has an obsession with Peacemaker. The first issue he ever was in September of 1982, I think it was. Actually, I have the information right here. 1982. September of 1982 was his first appearance, at least the Adrian Chase version of Vigilante. I don't know the exact date of the old one, and I can probably find it for you. but it's pretty easy to Google. But I will state this, and I know you probably came here like, well, I came here for your information. I understand that, but I'm giving you the Adrian Chase version, the one that's in this show. So, yes, this is your first taste of Vigilante, but we'll get to see him later as well. But at least you get to see what he looks like in the comic books right here. So, there you go, guys. Let's continue. And finally, we get to Eagly. I've been waiting for this to happen, only because, well, Eagly's actually new. But as I've been waiting for this series to premiere, HBO Max is making their, promos, so on and so forth, and they spelled Eagly as E-A-G-E, E-A-G-L-E-Y. And then James Gunn responds in return saying, no, that's Eagly, E-A-G-L-Y, straight to HBO Max because they spelled it wrong. This is the path of why Eagly is awesome, especially since he gives John Cena a hug in this scene. As if you watched, you saw it. But I'm not going to show it to you because I want you to watch Peacemaker. And if you watched it, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm just talking about nothing. But anyway, Eagly was never in the comics. So just in case you're here looking to find out if Eagly was in the comics, no, he's not, unfortunately. But I bet you they're going to add him now. Adrian Chase, Vigilante, first appearance. I just thought I'd bring that up, even though I talked about Vigilante earlier, so you'll see him in costume later on. Alright. Okay, and now a special note. If you saw this and you're wondering what the heck is he talking about, after the credits for each episode, there is a secret ending. And if you look in the first episode, it actually shows Peacemaker's fathers and talks about that helmet there he's pointing at. That gives you scabies. That's the exact line. Stay after the episodes. That's definitely, I think, a perfect Easter egg. Let's continue. Did I mention I love this intro? On to episode 2, Best Friends for Never. God, I love this show. So for those unaware, I am more of a Marvel fan. I know DC fanboys sue me. I love DC and I love Marvel, but I'm very, very, very well known when it comes to Marvel etiquette and things that might pop up on the screen whenever I'm watching stuff over on Disney+. Then there's the DC side. I know basic knowledge of DC, but then there's the small things that I have trouble signifying, identifying, things of that nature. And this is going to be one of those. Now here's the thing. I do know of the Green Lantern Corps, the Blue Lantern Corps, the Red Lanterns. I know all about them. Not like distinctly, but enough information to understand how they're significant in the world of DC. This thing that Peacemaker found definitely has something to do with something bigger. And when it comes to blue lights and anything special with blue lights and symbols, I think of the Blue Lantern Corps. But I decided to pause, look this up, couldn't find anything about it. And so I always want to make sure I can bring you up-to-date knowledge, but sometimes I'm just not that good. I apologize. Again, that's why I'm more of a Marvel geek than a DC geek. But I'm still a DC geek. I'm just putting it out there, guys. Enough said. I don't know what this is. I don't know. So if you know in the comments, definitely comment below and tell me. If you're a DC fan, educate me. Because I will know down the road when it comes to later videos, hey, I've seen this before. And if you know particular comics that may address this, please tell me. I'd be happy to read them. Anything, but that being said, let's continue. He name-dropped Bat-Mite. Now you might be wondering, okay, who's Bat-Mite? That might be one of the reasons why you're here. Bat-Mite is a imp-like character, small in size, that actually was around, or came around in around 1964, I think it was, and he may look a lot, or look like Batman, but he's more like the character in the world of Superman's world called Mr. McSee's Spitlick. I hate saying that name. But it was a character in the world of Superman that actually became very popular back in the 90s with the cartoon, and I think he even appeared in Lois and Clark. So he's a little more well-known than Bat-Mite. But for him to name drop Bat-Mite is just funny as hell. So that definitely is a thing that I think is awesome. Bat-Mite. Finally, Vigilante makes an appearance. Remember that guy earlier? Remember? I spoke about him earlier. There he is in the comic right there. There. He makes an appearance. Are they going to explain that it's Adrian? I think Peacemaker knows. I don't know. Again, they've changed a lot. But James Gunn changed it for a good reason. I'm kind of talking too much about Vigilante right now, right? Because I've already touched on him twice earlier. Not touched on him, especially with the joke they just made about Louis C.K. Can we move on? Holy crap, how did I not freaking see this? I'm an idiot because the name wasn't the same. And again, this character is known not for its original name because it's based on a character that other people have taken the moniker of. Okay, let me try to explain this without making this too confusing, guys. The White Dragon. The White Dragon is an anti-social or anti-terrorist, or terrorist, I should say, that's fought against the Suicide Squad, which makes total sense with Peacemaker and his attachment to the Suicide Squad. But what makes it even crazier is I should have seen the hints on all his racist remarks, everything else. I was like, why would they make Peacemaker's father racist? The White freaking Dragon is the reason why. This is a bad character, guys. He has loyalties as a racist character, and for them to push this in the storyline of Peacemaker shocks the hell out of me. Wow. This is insane. We are going to have some really fucked up shit about to happen if they really push forward with how bad White Dragon is. I think it's William Heller. That was the one that I'm most notable for me. Well, not for me, but I know for. God, that sounds horrible even saying that. I don't even like being attached to this character because it's such a bad character. It is a horrible character. And Peacemaker have to kill his own father? Holy crap. Has this just gotten even edgier? And we're not even episode 3. That's available right now to watch. If you came to find out about White Dragon, what you might have found out was not good. What a way to end an episode. On to episode 3. Oh, wait. Maybe there's something at the end credits. Have I said that I love this intro? I know I have. Better Goff Dead. Episode 3. I love this show. So, now they reference Doll Man. Now, you may be saying, what's the big deal? And we're already in episode 3, so let me explain. Doll Man was a character made by Quality Comics, not DC Comics. Let me make this well known. But what happened was, at some point down the road, DC started buying other licenses that were not making much money, including Peacemaker. Peacemaker is actually not original design by DC Comics, also just like Shazam and things of that nature that became a staple in DC's world of comic books. Doll Man is one of those. But here's the funny part. They call him the Mightiest Mite. Do you remember someone talking about Bat-Mite last episode? They're going for a miniature thing here. And we also know a current martial artist that I named in the first episode when it came to the intro. By the way, did I mention I liked the intro to the show? Yeah. Judo Man. Bat-Mite. And then this. Is there something going to happen that I'm not aware of with small characters? James Gunn, what are you hinting at? Finally, we get to Judomaster. Now, Judomaster, I actually mentioned in the first episode right at the intro because he's literally in the intro. They literally show Judomaster, so if you're not familiar with him, it's understandable. Especially if he looks different. Let me explain. See, Judomaster is actually more of like a very vibrant red and yellow type character, and he was actually published by Charlton Comics. Now, if you're not familiar, Charlton Comics is the same company that made Peacemaker, and then was bought out by DC. So, this is actually a major comic book character in DC, but also came from the same series that Peacemaker did, even though they were separate series of their own. So, James Gunn pulling from those other companies. First off, bravo. Second of all, they made Judomaster short. Again, Bat-Mite, Dollman. Is there a reference here? Either way, let's continue on with episode 3. This show just gets keeping better. I love it. And there you have it. That is episode 3 of Peacemaker. Now, you might be questioning here what Project Butterfly is, and honestly, I'm questioning the same thing. Here's my thing. Before they really got into seeing the butterfly come out of that guy's head, I thought, and I was going to make, a comment about this, about maybe it being Madame Butterfly from the Black Hawk series, which is a quality comic that is also made by the same company that makes Peacemaker. But then they also own another company, the company that owns Static Shock, and there is Iron Butterfly as well. We can clearly see neither one of these have to do with that at all. But with that being said, so far Peacemaker looks awesome. Stay to the end credits of all 3 episodes. The last episode gives you a rundown of what's going to happen. It looks like it's going to be focusing a lot on Project Butterfly, and hopefully we'll get some new characters. But either way, I've loved what I've seen so far. The first 3 episodes are amazing. Maybe they gave us the first 3 because they knew that if you got to the 3rd episode, you'd be hooked. Because honestly, I am. I can't wait for episode 4 to come out, which of course will be next Thursday. So now I'm adjusting my schedule to where I will be taking off every Tuesday and every Wednesday to do my Boba Fett and my Peacemaker thing, reviews. And it looks like I'll be streaming on Sundays now. But, of course, if you didn't watch this far, you don't know this, but I will definitely be telling the rest of you. But that's getting off subject. With that being said, there's only one thing I can say when it comes to Peacemaker. This intro is freaking awesome. In case you didn't know already, I'll see you next time.